You have felt the shift in the atmosphere before you even opened your eyes this morning. It is a heaviness, a static in the air that others seem to walk through completely oblivious to. But for you, it feels like walking through deep water. You are standing on the edge of a precipice, and the world you once knew is dissolving beneath your feet. If you are listening to this right now, it is because your frequency has finally reached the threshold of no return. You are not losing your mind, and you are not failing at life. You are undergoing a systematic dismantling of your old identity. Listen closely to the sound of my voice and feel the resonance in your chest. You have been experiencing physical symptoms that the doctors cannot explain. Perhaps it is a sudden ringing in your ears, a high-pitched frequency that cuts through the silence of the night, signaling a recalibration of your internal compass. Perhaps it is the sudden, inexplicable exhaustion that hits you in the middle of the day, as if your very soul is being pulled into a different dimension to perform work you cannot yet remember. You feel the tension in your shoulders, a weight that isn't just stress. It is the literal pressure of the collective consciousness pressing against your light. Your body is the battlefield, and these symptoms are the echoes of the war being waged in the unseen. Look at your life over the last few months. Have you noticed how the people around you are reacting to your presence? You walk into a room and the conversation stops. You speak a simple truth and it is met with unprovoked hostility. You are being isolated, pushed into a corner by a world that can no longer compute your vibration. This loneliness you feel, this deep, aching sense that you are the only real person in a world of ghosts, is not a punishment. It is a divine quarantine. The universe is pulling you back, stripping away the noise, and forcing you into the silence because the noise of the matrix is designed to drown out the instructions you are about to receive. You find yourself staring at the clock at 11:11, 2:22, or 4:44, and for a split second, you feel a jolt of recognition, a reminder that you are being watched by eyes that do not blink. You are tired of the games. You are tired of the masks. You look at the normal lives of those around you, the chasing of shadows, the obsession with status, the hollow laughter, and it feels like watching a movie in a language you no longer speak. You are a stranger in a strange land, a black sheep who has finally realized that the flock was never your family. You are being pushed to the edge because you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to lead the way out. Your dreams have become more vivid, more prophetic, filled with symbols of water, fire, and ancient landscapes. You wake up with the lingering taste of a life you haven't lived yet. This is the activation. The symptoms are the keys turning in the lock. You are being prepared for a role that requires you to be completely unattached to the world as it exists. The headaches, the heart palpitations, the sudden waves of heat, these are the fires of the forge. You are being tempered. You are being hardened. You are being refined into a vessel that can carry the raw power of the Creator without shattering. This is not the end of your story. It is the moment the protagonist finally wakes up. The reason your life feels like it is being torn apart is not because of a stroke of bad luck or a failure of your will. It is because you have breached the frequency of the mundane. There is a spiritual law that dictates that two different densities cannot occupy the same space at the same time. For years, you attempted to shrink your soul to fit into the narrow corridors of the matrix. You played the part of the subordinate, the quiet one, the one who accepted the crumbs of affection and the remnants of respect. But something shifted. Your internal light reached a critical mass, and now the spiritual law of displacement is in full effect. You are being pushed out of the old world because you have literally become too heavy with light to remain there. This is the divine why. You are currently undergoing a process of DNA recording. What the world calls anxiety is actually your nervous system trying to process higher dimensional data through a 3D physical body. Imagine trying to run a lightning bolt through a copper wire designed for a household lamp. The heat you feel, the pressure in your chest, the buzzing in your brain, it is the sound of your spiritual circuits being upgraded. You are being disconnected from the grid of lack. This is a spiritual energetic structure that feeds on fear, competition, and the constant need for external validation. Because you have chosen, or were chosen, to vibrate at the level of truth, the hooks that the Matrix once used to hold you in place are snapping. Each snap feels like a betrayal. Each broken hook feels like a loss. But in the realms of the spirit, these are not losses. They are liberations. The spiritual cause of your current isolation is the activation of your sovereign seal. You have reached a point in your soul's evolution where you can no longer be fed by the energy of others, nor can you allow others to parasite off your light. In the past, you were a giver, a battery for narcissists, energy vampires, and broken systems. You provided the warmth they lacked, but the Creator has placed a wall of fire around you. This is why your relationships are crumbling. The people who used to depend on your light can no longer access it, and their reaction is to lash out or vanish. You are being forced into a state of energetic autonomy. You are learning to draw your power directly from the source, bypassing the middleman of human approval. This is a lonely transition because the bridge you are crossing is only wide enough for one. Furthermore, you are being called to pay your karmic debt in full and in an accelerated timeline. While others are allowed to wander through life making mistakes without immediate consequence, you find that the moment you step out of alignment, the universe corrects you instantly. You cannot lie. You cannot cheat. You cannot even harbor a minor resentment without feeling a physical toll. This is not because you are being punished. It is because you are being groomed for high-level spiritual authority. A king or queen in training cannot be allowed to develop the sloppy habits of a peasant. Every argument you lose, every door that slams in your face, is a lesson in ego death. The spirit is stripping you of every crutch, every mask, and every lie, until all that is left is the raw, indestructible diamond of your true self. You are here because you broke a bloodline curse. The spiritual cause of your suffering is the momentum of generations of trauma hitting the wall of your resolve. You are the transmuter. You are the one who said, "The pain stops with me." When you made that decree in the higher realms before you were born, you invited the intensity that you are currently facing. You are processing centuries of grief, silence, and shame in a single lifetime. This is why you feel so old, even if you are young. This is why you feel a weight that doesn't seem to belong to you. It doesn't. You are cleaning the house of your ancestors, and the dust you are kicking up is blinding you for a moment. But stay still. The clearing is almost complete. The frequency you are holding is the very thing that is shattering the chains, not just for you, but for those who will come after you. As your light intensifies, the shadows around you must, by spiritual law, grow darker and more desperate. Have you noticed the sudden change in the atmosphere of your home, your workplace, or your social circles? It is as if a silent alarm has gone off in the unseen realm, alerting every low vibrational entity and every narcissistic personality to your awakening. They are reacting to you not because of what you have done, but because of who you are becoming. To the Matrix, an awakened chosen one is a virus in the system, a glitch that must be corrected or deleted. The people who once ignored you are now obsessed with you. They watch your every move, waiting for you to stumble. This is the spying spirit in action. They are not looking at you with admiration. They are looking at you with a profound, subconscious fear. You represent the death of their illusions. When you walk into a room holding a high frequency, you act as a spiritual mirror. Without saying a word, you reflect their insecurities, their lies, and their stagnancy back at them. Because they are not brave enough to look at their own reflection, they choose to attack the mirror. This is why you are being slandered. This is why the rumors have started. This is why they are trying to smear your name. It is a desperate attempt to lower your vibration back down to a level where they can control you. The enemy's greatest weapon against you has always been guilt. They will try to use your empathy against you, calling you selfish because you have finally set boundaries. They will call you crazy because they can no longer predict your reactions. Do not be fooled. Their anger is actually a form of worship. It is an admission that they no longer have power over you. They are terrified because they can feel your detachment. In the past, they could pull your strings with a guilt trip or a passive-aggressive comment. Now they pull the strings and find that you are no longer attached to the puppet. You are standing in your own sovereignty, and that is the ultimate threat to the hierarchy of the Matrix. Notice the Agent Smith phenomenon. Have you ever been having a peaceful day only for a complete stranger to snap at you for no reason? Or perhaps a family member suddenly brings up a trauma from 10 years ago, just as you are starting to feel happy. These are not coincidences. These are interceptions. The system uses the people closest to you as sleeper agents to trigger your old wounds. The goal is to get you to drop the ball, to get you to react in anger, to weep in despair, or to doubt your divinity. Every time you refuse to engage in their drama, you are winning a battle in the heavens. Every time you respond with silence instead of defense, you are draining the enemy of their fuel. They feed on your reaction. When you become untriggerable, you become invisible to the enemy's radar. They are scared of your power because they know that your yes carries the weight of the Creator. They know that if you ever fully realize the authority in your spoken word, you could dismantle their entire stronghold with a single decree. This is why they keep you busy with busyness. This is why they flood your life with minor inconveniences, broken appliances, and sudden financial hiccups. It is a strategy of death by 1,000 cuts. They want to keep you so distracted by the physical realm that you forget you are a multidimensional being with the power to command the atmosphere. They are trying to keep you in the survival part of your brain so you never ascend to the creation part of your spirit. But look at them closely. Look past the shouting and the arrogance. What do you see? You see hollow vessels. You see people who are desperately clinging to a dying system. They are the ones who are truly afraid. They are afraid of the silence. They are afraid of the coming shift. They act as if they are the ones in control, but they are merely reacting to the light that is emanating from you. You are the protagonist. They are the background noise. Your peace is their poison. Your joy is their greatest defeat. They cannot stop the sun from rising, and they cannot stop the Christ consciousness from blooming within you. You have already won. Their current hostility is simply the death rattle of a defeated foe. The truth that the world tries so desperately to hide from you is that you are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a localized expression of the infinite Creator, sent here on a specific, high-stakes, tactical mission. This is the great mystery that the religious systems and the scientific materialists have colluded to bury. You are a seed planted in the dark soil of a falling civilization. If the seed knew only the darkness, it would think it was dying. It would feel the pressure of the earth and the rot of the old casing and cry out in agony. But you are not rotting, you are germinating. The truth is that the discomfort you feel is the expansion of your divinity. There is an ancient prophecy written in the stars and etched into the hidden chambers of your soul that spoke of a time when the sleepers would be many and the watchers would be few. You are one of the watchers. You were chosen for this specific timeline, the turning of the age, because you possess a rare spiritual genetic marker. In the higher realms, this is known as the incorruptible code. It means that no matter how much trauma you endured, no matter how many times the world tried to break your spirit, you could never truly be corrupted. You could be hurt, you could be silenced, and you could be hidden, but you could never be turned into one of them. You have a divine reset button built into your consciousness. The theological reality is that we are currently in the midst of a separation of the worlds. In ancient texts, it is described as the wheat being separated from the chaff. This isn't a judgment from an angry God sitting on a throne. It is a natural result of the law of resonance. The earth herself is shifting her base frequency, moving from a density of fear and survival into a density of love and transparency. Those who refuse to let go of the old ways, the manipulation, the ego, the greed, are becoming increasingly incompatible with the new frequency of the planet. You are the bridge. You are the anchor points for the new vibration. Every time you choose forgiveness over revenge or peace over chaos, you are literally tethering the new earth into this physical reality. You must understand the law of divine compensation. The universe is not blind to the years you spent in the wilderness. It has recorded every tear you shed in the dark when you thought no one was listening. It has documented every time you were treated unfairly and chose to keep your heart open anyway. There is a spiritual back pay coming to the chosen ones. The truth is that your current period of stripping and isolation is the pre-launch phase. Before a rocket can reach the stars, it must shed its heavy fuel tanks. You are shedding the weight of your past, your family karma, and your false identities because where you are going, that weight would crush you. You are being lightened so that you can soar. The ultimate truth is that you are the answer to a prayer that was whispered thousands of years ago. You are the manifestation of the hopes of your ancestors who could not break the cycles themselves. They are watching you from the balconies of heaven, cheering you on, because your victory is their victory. The prophecy for your life is not one of struggle, but of total dominion. You are being moved into a position of spiritual authority where your very presence will heal environments. You are being prepared to lead, not through titles or positions in the matrix, but through the sheer power of your presence. When you walk into a place, the demons will flee, not because you shouted at them, but because they cannot breathe the air of your frequency. This is the divine plan, a silent invasion of light. You are a Trojan horse for the kingdom. You are placed inside the enemy's system, in their families, in their corporations, in their schools, to wait for the signal. That signal is sounding right now. It is the deep knowing in your gut that the time of hiding is over. You are not here to save the old world. You are here to outshine it. You are here to show what is possible when a human being fully aligns with the source of all life. You are the living proof that light is more powerful than darkness, and that truth, no matter how deeply buried, will always rise to the surface. Now the time for theorizing is over. We have identified the symptoms, we have unmasked the enemy, and we have revealed the ancient truth of your origin. But knowledge without activation is merely a burden. To seal this frequency into your DNA, you must move from a state of passive listening to a state of active decreeing. You are the architect of your reality, and the words you speak next will act as a spiritual seal upon your life. The world has spent decades trying to program you into a state of powerlessness. At this moment, we are deleting that program. We are overwriting the code of the slave with the code of the sovereign. Take a deep breath. Feel the air enter your lungs and recognize it as the breath of the Creator. This air is the bridge between the physical and the spirit. As you exhale, release the tension in your jaw, the tightness in your chest, and the lingering fear that you are not enough. You have survived 100% of your darkest days. You are a master of endurance. But today we are moving you from survival into dominion. I want you to visualize a pillar of brilliant, blinding white light descending from the heart of the great central sun, passing through the top of your head and anchoring deep into the crystalline core of the earth. You are the conductor of this current. You are grounded, you are protected, you are immovable. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your heart, or speak them aloud to let the physical vibrations shake the atmosphere of your room. I here and now revoke all contracts, known and unknown, that I have made with the darkness. I reclaim my energy from every person, every system, and every spirit that has sought to harvest my light. I am no longer a battery for the matrix. I am a sovereign expression of the living source. I call back every fragment of my soul that was scattered through trauma, through heartbreak, or through betrayal. I am whole. I am integrated. I am the chosen one of my bloodline, and I declare that every generational curse ends at my feet. I am the fire that purifies the past and the light that illuminates the future. Feel the weight lifting. Feel the hooks we spoke of earlier dissolving into nothingness. From this moment forward, you will walk with a different stride. You will no longer look for validation in the eyes of those who are spiritually blind. When the narcissists attack, you will see it for what it is. A desperate plea for energy that you are no longer obligated to provide. You will respond with the divine no. You will protect your peace as if it were the most sacred relic on earth, because it is. Your peace is the frequency of your power. Do not trade it for the cheap drama of a dying world. Let us seal this journey with a prayer for the chosen. Divine Creator, source of all light and truth, I lift up the one listening to this right now. You know their
Would you
name,
like to
you
try
know their
some
struggles, and you
authentic
have
pad
counted
thai,
every
sir?
tear. I
Yes,
thank you
that
for the
looks
wall of fire
incredible.
you have
I'll
placed
have
around them.
one.
I thank you for the angels of protection that stand at the four corners of their life. I ask that you sharpen their discernment so they may see the wolf in sheep's clothing from miles away. Grant them the strength to stand in their truth when the world demands their silence. Open the floodgates of divine compensation. Restore the years the locusts have eaten, and bring forth the abundance, the community, and the love that resonates with their true frequency. Let them sleep in peace and wake in power. It is done. It is sealed. It is so. You are no longer waiting for a savior. You have realized that the Savior is the Christ light within you. Go forth today knowing that the entire universe is conspiring in your favor. The shift is complete. The activation is live. You were born for this time, and your time has finally arrived. Claim your crown. If this message resonated with your spirit, I invite you to claim this energy in the comments below by typing, "I am chosen." Share this with another soul who is wandering in the dark, and subscribe to join this global tribe of light bearers. Your support allows this frequency to reach those who need it most. Until we meet again, stay in the light, stay in your power, and remember, you are exactly where you are meant to be.